Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another amazing, unfathomable, awesome episode of Hollywood After Dark. It is the 14th of November, 2022. Tonight we're going to be talking about the end of the Margot Robbie Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Does it mean Johnny's coming back? Harry Potter, more of it, potentially, and or going to television? Cable? What is going on over there at Disney? My God, folks. Let's talk about it. Hollywood After Dark. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Like I said, it's Hollywood After Dark. It is Monday, I believe. Sorry for being a little bit late tonight. You know, I got to go out and make that money, got to make that cheddar. I got a job. You know what I mean? I got to deliver people's supplies, I guess. Tonight was a weird night for booze delivery. Usually Mondays aren't really known for the alcohol delivery system. Usually that's the weekends. People on the weekends want their booze. They want to go out there and have a good time at home without having to worry about driving to get their liquid libations. But tonight, for some reason, everybody wanted me to bring them something that I needed to verify their ID with. Maybe it's a sign that I need to get into real convenience store work. Maybe it's something. I don't know. Either way, it's Hollywood After Dark. There's been a lot going on today. Obviously, there's been interesting little bits of fallout and updates over what happened yesterday. We'll talk about that here in a minute. Let me take a quick look here at the chat. Let's see. I see Donovan talking about Argyle. Man, you talk about Argyle every day. I haven't even started working on that video yet. But you've been sending me updates. I've been seeing them. I just haven't worked on them yet. Eric asking what I think of Jessica Chastain's latest tweets. I got no freaking idea what she's talking about. But I do know that we are currently being joined by a special guest, a man up way past his bedtime, folks. Mad Max, the Mandalorian. Max, how's it going?
Good.
Yes, there you go. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear when I'm like, how's it going? And you're like,
it's weird.
Shit.
It's weird out here. Like,
it's weird. Well, you live in a weird state. That is true.
No. Just because of I'm here to talk about movie topics, I guess. But my video too. It's your show, so I don't want to interrupt.
Well, no, we can. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So I
might do a live stream because it's funny, but really, it can't really go anywhere anyway.
Well, right now things can't necessarily go in a multitude of different ways.
But I have to say allegedly a bunch of times.
Allegedly, yeah, that's your
allegedly.
Yeah, YouTube's auto captions are going to get a lot of work. That being said, let me quickly go through my little rundown here. If you guys want to help support the channel, the best way to do that would probably be head over to youtube.com/patio commentary, where you get my awesome reviews like this one of Black Panther Wakanda Forever with my super concerned face, which has actually done pretty well for the channel. It's over 2,500 views, which is really helping get the watch time up. So I'm working towards that 4,000 hours. So I can finally monetize the reviews. But of course, I've got a lot more planned coming down the pipeline for newer movies that are coming out. And I do want to focus quite a bit, actually, on smaller unknown films. Being Black Panther Wakanda Forever is the biggest movie in the world, and it will maintain that spot until Avatar comes out next month. But there's a lot of crazy movies coming, Max. A lot of fun things to talk about that are going to be not superhero or cape shit related. But that, of course, is youtube.com/patio commentary. And again, that's one way to support. Another way is head over to patreon.com/Matt Jarbo. I'm going to make a better image of this. But that is actually, do you know that's an AI created image right there?
It's a deep
of the
fake?
skeleton. That's not a deep. It's not necessarily a deep fake.
I hear lots of things are deep.
Lots of things are deep fake. A lot of things apparently today are deep fakes. But this is actually, I just went into an AI editor and I typed in, skeleton in movie theater eating popcorn. And this is what it gave me, and I like it quite a bit. I'm gonna church it up a little bit when I get more time, but obviously patreon.com/Matt Jarbo or become a channel member really does help out right now, specifically because it's not the greatest out there. But that being said, we've also this is what I wanted to cover. This was last night's thumbnail, which is One of my favorite thumbnails, if I'm being honest, Max. It is one of my favorite thumbnails because
I could see the fakeness now. The eyes,
right?
Especially with the O face.
Yeah.
That's
You gotta
really
love
hard
how they deep faked.
I have a source that said this was actually for Lewis. This was sent for Lewis.
Is that the okay. So
that's
for those
payment.
that's like yes, Lewis for all. You know, when I was friends with him and he helped me with a lot of stuff, I never had to send him jerk off vids. So no, I feel well, good. I mean, I'm glad they came to an arrangement, but that's not the deal I had.
So fake news, everyone. It was meant for Lewis for payment for all the butt kissing.
Yeah. There we go. It's all like it's all kiss this ring, cock ring. But no. So we talked about this yesterday, and there's been a few more updates in regards to stuff today. I just wanted to give a bit
allegedly.
Yeah, all of this is quote unquote alleged, except for the things that you've seen and what you're looking at here on this is not a deep fake image. You can tell that. I wish I could.
Is it?
No, it's not a deep fake image. It's not. It's not. I'll tell you know why it's not a deep fake image, because
if it's not, I'm going to sue you.
Here's the thing. Is you look at his phone, you see that right there next to the wrong, there's a little bit of a bubble sort of thing. That's the reflection from the mirror of the Popcorn Planet logo on the back of his phone. He's got a sticker with the Popcorn Planet logo on the back of his phone. So no, it is him saying allegedly, because that's what he's saying now. So everyone came at him today. Well, what happened was a lot of Amber Heard fans came at him on social media. And of course, the problem with that is Andy has built up all those. Yeah, he gaslights people. We know this. And he ended up more or less like, trying to downplay it. I guess he had a live stream today where he tried to claim that it was a deep fake or at one point he says deep fake. At one point he says they hacked my phone. At one point he says revenge porn. Nobody has seen.
And he does not deny it.
But he's like, is it a fork?
He's like, I don't even need to give this the breath of air. I'm moving on. I mean, I'm going to do a breakdown of the bullshit he does, because he spends 60 minutes on something this is what people that manipulate you do. In my opinion, okay, I believe he does 16 minutes on something that's really ridiculous to frame it like everything's ridiculous.
Well, what you have to realize is, and I don't know if you watched my stream last night, but I had the woman on, Britt. She was on for about an hour and a half last night. And I was asking her questions, and she reiterated a few things. She even opened up in a couple other things, saying that Andy had one point asked her while he was in Chicago if she wanted to watch him and his fiance have sex from like the phone, which is just like, it's wild, right? Oh. But it's like, it's like the thing is that this story is one that is going to get wider traction as it gets larger and larger and larger, because as we found out today, it doesn't matter. He can say deep fake, whatever he wants. You can lie to the public. You can't lie to a court of law. What I mean by that is if he decides that he wants to file a defamation claim against somebody, which wouldn't be you or me, because we're not saying anything that was leaked. Like, we're not providing the leaks. We're commenting on what was made publicly available. So on that front, we have freedom of speech to talk about this in any capacity that we want. Andy knows this. It would cost them about $15,000 to even get a defamation suit off the ground. And then when that happens, you would go into discovery. When you go into discovery, that's when you would find out that, oh yeah, this is legit. And then at the same time, he would have to admit that it's legit under oath, because he couldn't lie to a court. So if it's in his best interest, and this is whatever, it's in his best interest at this point to flat out ignore it to the best of his ability. But I'm telling you, as this story begins to spread, more people are going to come forward. In fact,
I don't think people want to cover it. The bigs want to cover it though.
Not yet. And the reason why not yet has a lot to do with what happened in 2017, obviously. But there's two elements to that. And that's what I talked about last night on the stream. If any, you guys who were here and those of you who saw it in the post stream, the VOD, I brought up the original accusation. There was not just one woman who claimed physical abuse. There was the other woman. Her name was Emma, who had alleged that Andy had liked to masturbate to images of her and had told her of such. And one of the things we heard last night from Britt, the woman who had been in his inner circle that he had isolated, according to her, and sent these videos to, that were kind of consensual but unsolicited in many instances, according to her at least, she had, he has a thing for masturbating to women. And that's my take on it, at least. And I think we can see that there's a bit of a repeated pattern. There's a bit of that sort of situation playing out. And what's hysterical to me about it, Max, is that if you know anything about this guy, he's a creep, right? He's a creeper.
Oh,
and
definitely.
He comes across that way. And, but people out there, they don't want to deal with what happened.
What's really funny is he's like, these weird drama channels. I'm like, dude, you're the biggest drama channel. All you do is comment on like celebrity stuff.
Wait, hold on. Chris Bipolar Nobody here says, Andy once asked me to dig up dirt on Matt and Max. I still have the DMs. Can you show me the DMs, Chris? Like, I'll send you a link if you want to come on and tell. I didn't know that. That's really fascinating because, I've been the subject of a weird, how do I want to frame it? Like a weird little kind of catfish game from Jody's Corners guys. This was a couple years ago where I got hit up randomly by this dude on my personal Facebook, and he was asking me if I would be interested in having him become a patron if I would yell at him. Like that was his kink. He got off on people yelling at him. And I was like, no, I'm like, thank you for the offer, but that's not my kink. I'm not into that sort of thing. So no, I'm good. And then he's like, okay, well, cool. Let me be honest with you. It was actually, I was paid $50 to do this by Jody's Corners friends. And it was right around the same time that we were having our big beef with those guys. So like, they're not above pulling ops. We know that Andy went to Saggy. We know that Andy went to Halogen Helix, AKA Paul, and tried to get them to dig up dirt. We know that Andy has made the open claim that that they had to dig up dirt on you by trying to make a threat against me. We know all of these things exist. So at this point, it's very...
He's basically just playing chicken with everyone else. He's like, you're not going to go as dirty as I will. He's obviously a dirty person. He's like, you don't want to go. You don't want to go this way. He's basically calling everyone's bluff.
He's calling everyone's bluff, but this is when, according to Saggy, a few more women have come out today. She posted this on her.
Well, can I be real? I believe it, but that's going to happen regardless, honestly, with the amount of following he has.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Either way, if it's truthful or not, I tend to believe, in my opinion, I believe it's accurate. But regardless, no matter what happens, there's going to be people saying stuff.
Yeah. So
it's just like if you're completely innocent, if something happens online and you have somewhat of a following, there's a line of people ready to.
Oh, well, when I had my fallout, there were people.
But I'm not saying they're lying or anything. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No. I know you've already said that. You only need to say it once to cover your ass legally. I'm just saying you don't need. It's not like a keep. You're not saying anything here. You're saying you believe the accusers. There's nothing illegal with saying that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is Andy has been able to kind of warp and twist his current audience of supporters.
He's scaring people into not covering it.
Well, I think again, what happened was back in 2017, you had the physical abuse, the sexual abuse allegations that he was able to prove a year and a half, almost 2 years later, that were inaccurate. And so a lot of people are going to be able, he can call upon that and go, look, this was a massively false accusation, one that cost me my job. He settled with Defy Media for an undisclosed amount of money. I don't know how much he got out of that deal. And he effectively cleared his name on that front. We know that that's true. The other side of that, though, is that he still uses the same kind of very lame tactics to go after his enemies, anyone who criticizes him. And that's the thing, is he uses gaslighting and strong arm tactics. And he very much
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I really thought you knew about that. Saggy did. I'm looking for the. I found.
No,
the link
I
right
knew.
now.
So
Saggy did a whole video about it, and that was about you, Max, and Poindexter. That was about you, Max, and Enoch.
I mean, I think I watched part of it because I think I figured at that point I already basically knew everything, or I thought I did.
Check your DMs.
So that's one of the things that
that's
I find
one
to
of
be,
them.
Let's see here. Well, it's the image is still
and that's when I was cool with. That's when I was cool with Andy, and this is what made me not be cool with him. I was like, dude, and then I couldn't be cool with Jody anymore either when he threatened to like blackmail Max, and they were in that stupid hotel in Vegas with those. I was like, these guys are fucking cringe, man. I can't be cool with these motherfuckers anymore, man. They're awful people. You know, and then I got to know you and realized it was all bullshit. I don't want to say brainwashed, but they definitely had me believing that like you were this fucking horrible person, bro. You know what I mean? It was so weird. And the minute I got to know you, I'm like, this is all bullshit.
So this is a screenshot you just sent me of Andy talking to you. This is from 2020. So this is about 3 months after Andy and I had our falling out.
It was when the whole thing was going on about the Snyder
cut
and all that big war you guys had. Yeah.
So I know he's tight with Jarbo. I'd love to find something or stupid Poindexter.
He's talking about you. Yeah, you're tight with.
Yeah. So he's talking to you about Enosh.
Yeah, he's talking about
if you know anyone who can help me
about you and Max being tight with Enosh.
Yeah. Right. That's the whole thing. This is what Andy does. This is exactly. And also notice how he hits these massive, like, one sentence, send, one sentence, send, one sentence, send. Like, you know, he just kind of hyper pushes, hits you with a bunch of stuff.
He was with his audience.
He has a big tell when he's lying. I in my opinion.
Just don't listen to him. Just don't listen to him. Just don't even watch it.
When he lies first, and then at the end he's like, well, even if it was true, he did the same thing with defending the corner, saying, you know, Gay Fisher, and he's like, at the very end, he's like, well, even if it was true, who cares?
Well, didn't you hear him literally dry snitch on himself today? Because before he was like, that's got to be a deep fake. First, he's like, what? How'd they hack my phone? What'd they do? Hack my phone? Which is admission that you have shit like that on your phone. This is not a deep fake. This is really him. It's not a fucking deep fake. He did this shit.
I mean, look, there's certain things I can't say. But look, when I say trust me on this being legit,
you know him better than anyone.
When I say trust me on this being legit, trust me on this being legit. That's all I'll say about it for right now. Trust me on this being legit. And this isn't, but again, it's all what it all boils down to is a guy who got caught with his hand in the cookie jar again. And now he's got a lot more to lose because he rebuilt him. So there's no coming back from this a second time. And the thing is, though, is that, look, you have the Amber Heard people, the Amber Heard fans are going to absolutely go after.
Yeah, they're going to
they're going to go after him. They're going to go after
Johnny Depp side. They're going to want
the Johnny Depp side. Yeah. Well, but again, what is one of the things that's going to be very fascinating to see is if there's any kind of mainstream media approaches. And again, I don't know. I haven't contacted anyone. I don't care enough to do that. All I want is just for this person to flat out stop being a terrible human. Like, that's it.
Well, that's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Real until proven fake. Oh, trust me, Ryan, it's real.
I believe those girls. And here's what I would have done. Because he's doing the whole, and if they want to get in trouble with the law, that's revenge porn. That's not how that works, homie. You sent it to her consensually. And then she asked you to stop doing it. You guys fell out. Okay. You sent your people after her to torment this girl. So she said, this is why I'm getting tormented. I would have released it in full cut, all glory.
Well, see, there's the thing with that.
Douche that would send something to you and then sue you for distributing it.
But it's like, just because he sent it doesn't mean it has the express permission for distribution.
Yeah.
So like, and there are laws about revenge porn. So like, if the video gets out, you know, like, I mean, look, you could pull the Deadpool defense, and that'd be like, if the video gets out, whoever had the video could go, oh, my phone was hacked.
Yeah. Or let's,
you know, and that's the Deadpool defense. And it's just like,
shit to me, I'll leak it.
You know, but it's again, it's like, and here's the thing with that too. Like, I don't know the full legality of it. I'd have to go and look up the old Supreme Court ruling, but it's like, if you were sent something that that's considered a leak and you want to be a whistleblower for whatever reason, you can disseminate that stuff because you didn't leak it. That's where we are right now. Like us talking about this, and it's not what I want to spend all night fucking talking. There's other things to talk about.
Yeah.
But it's like this situation. I think. Look, one thing I can't stand is I can't stand bullies and I can't stand abusers. I just can't. I think that and that's one of the biggest things I hate about YouTube culture is how it absolutely brings out that in people, and they're able to use whatever charisma or magnetism that they might have.
There are some real creeps on the Johnny Depp side. That umbrella guy was covering for Andy last night. I think I didn't look into that one though. That's why Nordette was getting.
And
so
Andy's
much
the worst kind of bully. He's a cry bully. He plays victim as
he's absolutely a cry bully.
That's the worst kind of bully, Matt. It really is, bro.
Yeah,
you're stealing the victimization from the person you're victimizing.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But the thing is, we know this. We know this about him, and he doesn't have to worry about that. To be honest with you, he doesn't have to worry about that because he knows that, he could probably walk away from this. But if more and more women come out and more women tell their stories, especially to people in the media, and, someone like a Ronan Farrow comes along and compiles their story and takes down their testimony and publishes an expose where they have interviews with these particular people, and they have any kind of evidence that I haven't seen or others haven't seen that they're able to pull out that can corroborate that information. That is something that will absolutely, that was something that will absolutely be irrefutable if you have multiple accusers popping up. Now, the question then becomes, who's going to run an article like that? Which outlet's going to run an article like that? And then again, as this begins to snowball, because we've always seen this, more people will come out, and it's entirely possible that someone else might have an entirely other video of him in the same kind of, compromising position, and they might leak that. And then at that point, if it goes on 4chan, your dick's out there, homie. Your dick's out there. It's out there.
Me and Brodan talked about this earlier. After getting Me Too'd, he never let go of his victim complex. Okay, not only did he not let go of it, he weaponized it to use it to get away with doing it to other people. Now, that first one was proven that she was full of shit, but he used that to be like, look, one person already did it to me. I'm the victim. Now he can play that card every time as he does it to other girls.
That is essentially, that's essentially my belief on the situation as well.
He weaponized his victimization so that he could victimize other people, and he does it in a nice way because he'll befriend you first. And how did you put it, Maxie? He picks from his own pool.
Yeah, he'll say things like, if it's not a woman, like, everyone told me you were bad. Everyone told me not to support you, but I defended you. I had, and he tries to guilt you and victim and make himself the victim, like he's helping you and things like that. When at this point you just go like, yeah, it's ridiculous shit.
Oh, I used to go to bat for the dude, Matt. I did, not hardcore. I didn't simp for nothing, but I used to go to bat for him and I used to believe him. And, man, was I wrong about this guy. Him and Jody together were like a package deal. And I discovered Jody through my baby brother, and my baby brother loved Jody so much. He was like his favorite YouTuber. So when Billy died, I had this like displaced loyalty towards Jody because he hadn't turned into this monster that he is yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was just doing Wonder Woman videos and stuff. And then I don't know, when I actually really took a look at it, when I stepped out of the box and really looked at these two, I'm like, these are not good people, and Andy's one of the worst kinds of people. He really is one of the worst kinds of people, man. He's the worst kind of influencer.
Yeah, he did. He is. We all know this. This is not something that, I think is pretty funny, because like women are not afraid of him anymore. And that's when, it's going to get bad. What I feel bad at, and then we can leave it at this, if there's anything else Max wants to say, is, what I feel bad for are the kids in his life, because this is going to get out there again. And this is going to be just another headline against their dad. And they're going to have to deal with that. I mean, like, I'm just waiting for, like, what if the New York Post gets ahead of it, gets a hold of it, prominent Johnny Depp supporter, Andy Masturbator. which I think is, I said that on Twitter today. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was pretty solid. You know, I'm all like, but what if they come out with that kind of nickname and whatnot? Like, and they Anthony Weiner his ass. You know what I mean? It's just like, you can't send this kind of stuff to women if you're in a like, just don't do it. If you're like, just if you're not happy with your current partner, then leave your partner and go find someone to be happy with. Like, it sucks, but like, that's how you do it, you know? But when you're in a position where all of these people, like he was live today, I saw it pop up.
A normal job, he'd be done in a second. Just because he doesn't actually pay these people.
And that
and they pay him, but they pay him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that like, that's the weird part about it, is like he's got that parasocial relationship where they pay him to validate their existence.
And that girl who goes on the offense for him, she's like his attack dog, man. That British girl, she really is, man. Like she called that girl.
Oh, Steph, she's called herself a pit bull.
She called that girl a home wrecker and this and that. And look,
projection.
You got video proof right in front of you, and you're still denying it. Now you really. Well, when he pulling that say thing, he's only embarrassing himself.
She said, and I watched the video. She said, consensual, which that's a fair point, unfortunately, because if you have someone that badgers you and pushes it, if you eventually submit, they have that. And then,
well, it wasn't
her against him.
Yeah. But if you listen, it wasn't just like she would send him video, or he would send her videos.
Yeah.
He would ask her to come on Zoom calls.
I think they were
watch him masturbate before going live on stream.
Matt. I think they were involved, and he dogged it, you know.
I have a different theory than that, Chris. Right? I have a different theory than that. What I think it is he targets, in my opinion, vulnerable individuals, people who aren't happy in their own lives. So I'm going to speculate a little bit, but based upon what like I'd heard Britt say, that like she was recently divorced and she was a single parent. So when you are in that position, you are in a very vulnerable state.
No, you feel worthless. You
feel worthless. Yeah, right. Because like it's something ends on that front. So here comes this guy, and he elevates you. And he comes in. He's like, "Hey, I see you. I see you. You do a great job for the community. You're a great mod. Why don't you come on over to this Telegram group that we've got? You know, because it's just better than it says all of us are over here. Oh, hey, what's this? It's the secret chat room over here. Check out this new feature." And then they start communicating, and then they build a bond based upon that. He probably, again, my speculation, I didn't ask all this last night because I didn't quite know how far to go with it. But, you know, he starts showering her with attention. Oh, you're such a great person. You do a great job. You're such a great mother, yada, 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 yada. And then he starts building up her confidence and then building up her faith and trust in him. This is what a cult leader does. This is how cult leaders get these devout followers. Is he pays attention to her enough to build up that bond. And then he goes, "Hey, listen, you want to watch me jerk off?" Like it's
God, it's just, I hate to say it like this, but that sounds almost like digital predatory.
It is. No, really, it's very predatory. Well, if you're in a relationship, he's been in a relationship for years, you know, and there's been plenty of rumors circulating around about like how he was trying to sleep with other women that have been mods of his. And these are all allegations that have popped up over the years. So it's not anything new. It's not anything that is unheard of. But now there's, as you guys see in the image right here, there's flat out like video evidence of him. You know, you guys just can't see the lower half of that, but it exists. So it exists.
I don't want to see that lower half.
I mean, from what it's been described to me as, is not good. But I also, look, let me just be fair on this one. This is just a guy thing. I don't want to shame anyone for like their dick, because guys have no control over their dick. They just don't. Dicks are not good looking anyway.
You have control if you show it to everyone.
Well, you have control. Absolutely. But what I mean is like, if it looks like a turn up, that's not necessarily like, you know, like you have no control over that. They don't have like, They don't have like plastic surgery for penises that I'm aware. I'm sure they exist, you know, but I don't.
They do. Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's like, I'm not going to make it, you know, that's an uncontrollable thing. But at the same time, yes, you have absolute control over who you send it to and who you show it to and in what context that is. So then my question is, if this is something that they got off his phone, who was the video meant for? And if it's for his fiance,
I said Lewis.
If it's, well, you say Lewis as a joke.
That's my no. I really mean there's, you know.
Who the hell is Lewis?
Lewis is Lewis like a Nerd Report. Yeah. Who's also, by the way, who I know is listening to this. So hi, Lewis. I know he absolutely is. But no, what I mean by that is if you see the video, he mouths the girl's name. He says Britt. No, he doesn't say Lewis. He says Britt. Max. I'm being serious. I need you to stop. I'm being serious.
Sorry.
Like, I'm legit trying to be serious.
Maybe it was Britney Spears.
No, it's not Britney Spears. I think he would have said Brittany. If he just says Britt, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, okay.
But the girl says, Britt says this is sent to her. In the video, he mouths the word Britt. Right? And so, like, it's not his fiance's name is not Britt. If I recall, her name is Yami, from what was told to me. Not the same. Even phonetically, or spell it out syllabically. They don't go together. And so, obviously, that's the thing. And by trying to argue that this is a deep fake or this is hacked on his phone, none of it adds up. What adds up is, well, the people who've talked. And, it's funny to joke about.
He's running full damage control now. You know?
Yeah, I mean? It's funny to joke about, but it really is like these women are people who are being taken advantage of, and that is not cool.
At the end of I really wish they wouldn't put themselves in this position. It's fucked up.
That's the thing. You ease into it. You don't. It's doesn't start out like it's just like out of the blue. You want to watch me?
Dude, okay, like I'm 40. I've never been in a situation where I've like been requested to like do that. You know what I mean? And like like phone sex is one thing, but it's like, that's just mutual masturbation. But it's never like, for one, I would never do that anyway, because once that's out there, it's out there. Like if you send somebody something, it does go through servers, right? It gets uploaded and then downloaded and then shared around. Like it goes through multiple servers. So there's a digital trace of it somewhere. You know what I mean? And like, if you ever think about the fappening, for example, like here's the thing, if he recorded this on his phone, and this is just real, if he recorded this on his phone and that looks like it's, is that an iPhone or is that an Apple? I can't tell. I think that's an Apple.
Three cameras.
Either way, whatever device it is, either it's iCloud or it has Google Photos. And if it's tied into his account, guess what's going to happen if you leave it on your phone? It's going to end up getting uploaded to the cloud. If you ever wonder why the fappening happened back in 2014, that was a big reason for it. Because a lot of the photos got uploaded to the cloud accidentally. And when the hackers were able to get access to it, they were able to find all of those images and they cataloged them for quite some time. So your phone will auto catalog photos you save or videos you save, and it will auto update them to the cloud without your knowledge in many instances. So again, it is a scenario to where like whatever his account might have, like this video could be on there, which means guess what? It's stored on the server somewhere. All I'm saying is just like it is. Oh, it's an iPhone Pro 13. Okay, so it's in iCloud.
It's definitely in the iCloud. Yeah. I get updates all the time telling me these are your memories from so and so, and it does it without my permission.
Cloud doesn't want to see that either.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Ralph's Double Tizzer says Apple has footage of Pignor jerking it. I mean, probably. Probably. I think there's a fair amount of things there that people need to realize about technology that they don't.
Well, who reads terms and services? Nobody.
It's humans sent to iPad. I think it's a great reason why you want to read terms and services.
Exactly.
It was so gross. Rational says you can turn off iCloud. Yeah, I don't think he did though. If I want my honest, I think my honest dude. I actually helped teachers turn on set up iPads and MacBooks back in the summer of 2012 when I was working for the LA Unified School District, and most people don't pay attention to that shit. All right. So there's that.
Yeah, I don't. I'll wholly admit it. I don't.
Yeah. Jordan here says, is it true that Andy Signor his Nor? Andy Signor is Nor. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But I think, look, at the end of the day, this is going to be an ongoing story. We've been on this for a while. There's been a couple updates today. Andy's denying it. We know that that's largely inaccurate.
I didn't think he did deny it. He's like, I'm not even going to address it.
I'm not,
you know,
when you say I don't address it, it's almost like in a court of law that would be considered pleading no contest, which is still the same as admitting guilt without admitting guilt. You know, but the thing is, though, look, as I heard today through the grapevine that somebody sent that saggy video to his fiance. So that's what I heard through the grapevine today. And I'm like, man, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, it's just, is there no life close to you that you won't fundamentally destroy just to get your goddamn rocks off? Like, that's the thing. Look at his eyes right there. Look at his eyes.
Yeah.
That is a person who knows exactly what he's doing. That is a person who knows exactly the result he wants from this particular video.
It is not a deep fake. Get the fuck out of here.
It's not a deep fake. That is Jordan here saying, did he really show his dick? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't just show it.
The thing is, though, what you can't tell is like the video shot in high definition. So there's a high def version of this out there.
This deranged, though, Matt, is like I checked out his Instagram, and you know he has it's very sad because he has his new family there, and I don't want to talk too much about them, but it's almost like he hides behind that. He's like, "You really going to be like Steph did? You're going to be a home wrecker, or destroy my family," and he hides behind that for his horrible alleged behavior.
Yeah, that was the worst part of the video today, Max, when he was like, "You're gonna go after my family." Like, whoa,
yeah, because like, family. No, you're the home wrecker. So that's what's so disgusting. People that are this deranged, in my opinion, there's that's why you're like, really, he would do that? But he's promoting he's how happy he is and with his family and stuff, and they go on trips, and that's beautiful, and I would love that for him, you know. And I don't hate this man. It's just really freaking weird and disgusting what he does to other people. But
my take on it is he's a fundamentally broken individual who preys on those who are in vulnerable states because he has a deep-seated sociopathic mindset. And again, look at his eyes. That tells you everything you need to know. They're not dilated. They're not rolled back. He's looking directly into the camera. He's looking directly into that. So he would get that exact look. So whoever's watching knows exactly what's going on. That's the creepiest thing about it.
You just made it even creepier for me.
Yeah. No, and that's the whole point. That's the point. That's the eyes of a predator. That is the exact eyes of a predator. That is a person who's calculating and knows exactly what they're doing. And that's Sandy. That's Andy. So let us move on from there to something. Let's talk about the boy who lived, not the boy who came.
Yeah. One-liners, man. King of fucking one-liners over here.
Anyway, so, oh God, Man Milk here says, so this dude is like Norman Bates, but without the stabbing. I mean, yet. You know what I mean? Like, yet. That's my biggest fear, to be honest with you. That's my biggest fear is like this blows up bad and then something bad happens. That's my biggest fear. You know what I mean? Like, because if the walls close on and everything feels, he's already lived through this once, but could he live through it again?
Yeah, no shit.
Right? And then it's like, who's around him sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. If we hear about some crazy shit out of Tampa, that I'm gonna be like, holy shit.
Oh, I don't want to put that out there.
Where'd you put the bodies, Andy? Where are they?
Yeah, what's going on, Caden?
Nothing. Not burying bodies right now at all.
But no, come on. Look. Okay, look. I cover true crime. All right. Like I cover true crime all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's an evil look. Yeah,
you know,
and he does that to the whole video, not just in that picture. That's not one frame. The whole video looks like that.
Yeah.
It's
but
so
anyway,
weird.
I know.
It really is so fucking weird.
Okay, Bo and Debbie Mulder. So about Harry Potter. All right. I get you. It's all good. I get you. All right. So Harry Potter is a franchise that we all know and love. It's a what, near 30-year-old franchise now. If you look at the books, And the movies, of course, are well over 20 years. But
And
what
if
about
you-
the future of Harry Potter?
And if you don't know what Harry Potter is, you've been living under a rock.
No, I know
Yeah.
who he is. I know I bought my kid every book. My son, my stepson, who I raised since he was like 10, he's 30 now. He loves it. I've never watched one Harry Potter movie, and everyone tries to get me to watch them. And I don't know why, but I know Harry Potter's massive. It's up there with Tolkien. It's up there with Star Wars. It's big. I know that much.
How the fuck haven't you seen one Harry Potter movie?
I tried to watch one, Maddie, and I got to the part where
Which one, though?
The very first one. I was going to watch all 8 of them, and they get to the part where the real life suits of armor are playing chess. And
It's like right at the end of the movie.
I fell asleep. I don't know. But I did promise my kid I would go and watch him, and I will. I will someday. I promise I will. I just haven't watched him yet.
Yeah, I would say like I like the movies quite a bit.
And I feel like I'm missing out because they are part of everybody's childhood, just not mine.
I think the thing is though too, it's like people who read the books have a certain like, because I read the book, like I read the first 4 books, which were out at the time, literally like in the month and a half leading up to the first movie coming out, so 21 years ago. And I remember like just instantly loving the books. You know, and so because like my younger sister was reading them and I was only 19 at the time, so I was still kind of in that demographic, and I really enjoyed them. And then what's crazy is the fact that Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring came out within a few weeks of each other. Think about that. Think about that.
I remember watching the first movie like when I was like 6, and like because and like. And
like when I was 6, I was like, fuck, I was 19.
Yeah. I'm about to turn 20 now in like 2 days.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. But I'm like, oh, damn. Like, and so, but yeah, like 14 years ago, I started reading this. I watched the first movie and then I got to reading it. And then I like read the first book. I put it down because obviously I'm 6 years old. I probably would not comprehend what's going on in these books more than what is going on in the movie. So I probably picked the books up again around when I was 12.
Well, I feel like I honestly, and then I'm not saying this as like, you know, a joke. I honestly feel like I owe it to Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman,
yeah.
Because I loved him. I loved him in Dogma. I loved him in Die Hard. I've loved that guy as an actor for so long. I just feel like maybe I should watch him because everyone says he has some pretty big parts in there, and then there's a twist ending when it comes to his character. So I think I don't know. You know what? I might
also
Galaxy
Quest is another great Alan Rickman role.
Yeah, I loved Galaxy Quest. Yeah.
So there's a lot of Alan Rickman is great. I would say give him a watch if you got HBO Max. They're on there for right now. They're leaving, but the reason why I want to talk about it tonight is because the future of Harry Potter is one that is in a very weird state. So we know just recently that the final.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Callie's in attack mode. She ain't putting up with it.
She ain't dealing no shit. What we know that the last Secrets of Dumbledore, that movie, is the last Fantastic Beasts film. And because they're not developing anymore for right now. They might eventually, but you know, I don't know. If Johnny Depp comes back into the fold, maybe they will.
Maybe.
If J.K. Rowling, well, that whole situation's weird, but.
Well, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So what's the only other thing written about Harry Potter that could be something that they'd want to go for is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. So according to this report today from Puck News, which is translated over here to Discussing Film, Toby Emmerich once had the idea for a potential 2-film adaptation of The Cursed Child, but J.K. Rowling wasn't interested in going forward with that. Zaslav now plans to try to bring up the idea of adapting it again. Here's the thing, though.
What, you know what's funny, though? Is that, like, Zaslav wants to further, like, as said in his earning calls, that he wants to further the franchise they have. And the other person they mentioned is Emmerich. I wonder if Emmerich is whispering in Zaslav's ears saying this is the way to go. You know?
I don't know. I mean,
we asked the Scoopers, they'll know.
Yeah. Oh, well, they were so great about James Gunn and Peter Safran. I made a killing in Vegas off that one. Oh, no shit. But it really is though. It's like, yeah, I hear this story is not well liked by Potter fans. It really isn't.
It's odd because it, like, not to go crazy spoilers, but it kind of flips the story. Like, you think one way of like, oh, this is gonna be the hero. Nah, they're actually like the bad guys now.
Oh really?
Oh shit! They have they have
because
every
like
one
Potter's
of them on here.
children, like at least one of them, is a Slytherin, and like he talks to Harry through letters or something, saying he hates that he's a Slytherin and he wishes he can be like other house, and he's like it doesn't matter because you're named after like Severus Snape, like, so like, and he was like a Slytherin as well, and it's like he turned out to be the most noble man, but like some weird stuff going on with that, and then like the other kid turns out to like kind of exploit or like make fun of Draco Malfoy's kid because how Draco Malfoy treated Harry. But like it's so weird, honestly. Like the semantics of the story is, I think, was the big problem with it, is that they turned Potter's kids into the villains and Malfoy's kids into like the kind of the good guys.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I can see why people didn't like it. What I also find to be fascinating is they never did a novelization of the script. It literally is. They put out a hardback edition of this a number of years ago, and it was literally just the play. It was just the script of the play. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. So if Zaslav can actually get JK to come on board with something like this, which I do believe he'll be able to do. I actually believe he'll be able to pull that one off. I think
he'll have to. Like, he's going to have to, because it's going to be like one of those things where it's like, either we do this or because they can't really, like, they can reboot it, but it'll be weird to reboot it at this point.
Yeah.
I'm looking on HBO
like,
Max
to
right
reboot
now.
it, you're going to have to wait a while to reboot it, because this stuff is still kind of fresh on people's minds with the Fantastic Beasts stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think they should reboot it.
Yeah, no.
They should continue the story or tell another story about another kid at Hogwarts or whatever. But sorry, Chris, what were you saying?
I went on HBO Max, like you said, and it's like it says Harry Potter 8 film collection, but I'm only seeing 7 movies. Oh, it's a double. Okay, all right, I get it.
Yeah, Deathly Hallows Part 1 and Part 2.
You know what? You were right about you were so right about the John Carpenter movie Big Trouble in Little China, and you and me seem to like the same stuff. So you know what? I'm gonna dip out of here and start these Harry Potter movies, man. I'm gonna start one right now, man, because now you guys are getting me pumped about it, and I don't want no spoilers. And I'm kind of like, you know what? I need
the first movie is the shortest one. It's also the first 2 were directed by Chris Columbus, and they were directed back to back. So like, because they came out in 01 and 02. And then I would say, like, if anything, watch those 2 and let me know like what you think of it. Because I mean, the first one, the introduction to the world is great. Dame Maggie Smith as McGonagall is fantastic. Richard Harris as Dumbledore before he died in real life, unfortunately. But like, you got Alan Rickman as Snape. There's Professor Flitwick as Warwick Davis is in it. When you get to the second, I think, is it the third one where you get it? Kenneth Branagh pops up as Gilderoy Lockhart. That's in the third one, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Voldemort's played by that guy from the Red Dragon.
Oh, Ralph Fiennes. Yeah, but he doesn't show up though until like number 5, I think, is when he pops up.
Like
as
4, he's like kind of in it in 4, but then 5, he really isn't.
Well,
yeah, it's building up.
And
I mean, like, dude, Gary Oldman is Sirius Black. In number 3, they got they have like a lot of, I mean, Helena Bonham Carter is Bellatrix Lestrange. There's a lot of really good actors. Robin Williams wanted to be in Harry Potter, but they turned him down. You know why? Because they didn't want any American actors to be in the movies. They wanted everyone to be British. But Chris Columbus's 2 kids, who are both, Yankees, had cameos as kids at the school in the first couple movies.
That dirty bastard.
I know the dirty. They're like, we're the only two people. You know, like, oh, fucking pound sand.
Well, I'm in
kids-
this circle with you guys, and I always hear you talking about it, and I always feel left out. You know what? I'm gonna go watch these movies, man.
They're Harry Potter. They're fun. They're fun movies. The first one's the shortest. I think you'll enjoy it. Just like kind of allow yourself to like get kind of brought into the world, because they do a really good job of just kind of laying out. The John Williams does the soundtrack. So
Yeah,
you know who
that's
Chris
great.
Columbus is, right? You know who Chris Columbus is?
Home
Alone.
Home Alone. I was thinking for a second, I was thinking Chris Carter, but that's X-Files.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go watch these now, man, and I'll check out the rest of your stream later, and I'll
right, man.
message you and let you know what's going on. All right, have a good stream.
Cool beans.
Y'all
All
be
right,
good.
see you later, buddy. Thank you. All right, yeah, there.
But yeah, Prisoners of Azkaban is honestly my favorite.
It's, I think, the best directed movie, but it's not my
Yeah.
favorite adaptation by a long shot. They leave out
yeah.
so much, so goddamn much. But it is the best made, to be fair.
Yes.
Goblet
Yeah.
is probably like the worst
Goblet
made.
is
And I feel like
the-
Goblet was an overcorrection from the third one from Azkaban, but they just went like, okay.
Yeah. I think with Half-Blood Prince, I feel like they could have done the reveal better.
Yeah. I know Peter Rabbit is like, the first one is 2 hours and 35 minutes, still the shortest movie.
Yeah.
Or no, maybe Azkaban is actually the shortest movie. I think Azkaban is like the one they tried getting around 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, Max had to bail because the dogs were going crazy. So, but Peter Rabbit's Defender says Goblet of Fire is my personal favorite. Man, the
Wait,
stuff with
no,
the dragons
Deathly
and that
Hallows
was pretty good.
Part 2 is the shortest one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, with 130 minutes.
Oh, okay. Still over 2 hours though.
Yeah. I mean,
No, they're good movies. They're good
Yeah,
movies.
they're-
I'm looking forward to my kids being old enough to watch them, and to understand them. Because like we were watching
Right.
Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness last night. My 4-year-old was not having any of it. She was freaked out. Whereas my 3-year-old just crawled up on my lap during the Carmitage scene and passed
God.
out. Like Wanda's just murking everybody. My 3-year-old's like, I'm going to bed. Mo Moon here for $2. The first super chat of the night. Thank you, Mo. Says Order of the Phoenix is the worst one. I mean, it's down
it's
there.
not the worst one, but it's not the. It's actually the least favorite
like-
of mine.
Yeah, it's like the most mid one.
Yeah.
It's like it's not good.
okay.
It's not great. It's like okay.
It's whoever I always forget her name. The
Which
pink
one?
professor. I hate her.
The pink professor, Umbridge.
Umbridge.
Oh,
that-
when they introduce freaking magical Hitler. God,
Yes.
that bitch is a fascist.
I'm
Holy shit. That chick, that's the thing about the Order of the Phoenix, right? The Order of the Phoenix is that book and that movie where you're like, I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. She is so
Yes.
fucking evil.
Oh
And
my
it's just,
God.
and she only gets worse as the books go on. But like
Oh,
Umbridge's character, see, Umbridge
She
was a good,
goes
the woman who
down.
played her, I forget her name, Imelda Staunton, I think is her name, right? Or Smonton or whatever. It's Imelda something. She's a great actress and she did an amazing job. She's playing the queen right now on The Crown, but she did an amazing job with with being Dolores Umbridge, because there's no greater character that defines the word cunt in all of young adult fiction. Like she just embodies that role, and you're like, oh my God, this woman drowns puppies for
Right.
fun. Like Cruella DeVille ain't got shit on Dolores fucking Umbridge. And I say this as a grown ass adult. I still hate that character, but she did an amazing job playing her. I think that and the whole serious Black Bellatrix Lestrange angle at the end of it, I thought that worked out like, because like the Order of the Phoenix is not my favorite book, but
No,
I
it's
like
not.
what it was building up to, because Order of the
Isn't it
Phoenix.
the longest book too?
It is one of the longest ones. Yeah, it definitely is. Because I had
Yeah.
a lot of just like chuff off whatever, like subplot stuff. That was like I think that was
Yeah.
where Hermione was really into her house elf phase, the
Right.
spew, everything. But what got me though was like that book in my mind set up going into the sixth book, from page 606 to the end of the sixth book. That book is insanely good. Right? Like once Snape kills Dumbledore on page 606, That's when it happened. Spoiler, it's been a long time, eat shit. Uh, it was ruined for me, like right when the book came out.
Oh, I remember.
Because a friend of mine had it ruined for him and he was pissed off, so he ruined it for me. I just looked at him like, bro, what the fuck? Like, seriously? He's like, it was ruined for me. I'm like, but did you have to ruin it for me? Because like I'm gonna read the book like in a couple days. He's like, yes, I had to ruin it for somebody, but I got you into the series, and you fucking piece of shit. I'm like, I'm spoiling the next movie you're looking forward to, and I did for a long time. I was all like, hey Bob, oh fuck him, oh you're excited, oh you excited to watch this movie? That guy fucking did it. All the time I would get him because I'd always go see the new movies first, even though we worked at a drive-in and shit like that. And I would just be like, that fucking you, I'm gonna fucking get you. We're still really good friends, by the way. We're still really solid friends. But yeah, anyway, it's like at the end of the Order, the Half-Blood Prince, the book, when Hogwarts erupts into a battlefield, to a war zone, and you have the Order versus the Death Eaters, that was fucking awesome. And the movie just fucked it up. Like, the movie just so fucked it up. I was like so disappointed with how the ending of Half-Blood. It could have had such a fucking epic ass ending, but instead it's like Bellatrix Lestrange. I kill Sirius Black. I kill Sirius Black. Like just bouncing around the Great Hall. You're like, who fucking cares? Like, bitch, we know you did this about the movie ago, but now we just want to see the fucking Dumbledore's army doing their fucking thing. Anyway, like that's I get it.
It was just like the reveal of it was kind of executed poorly, and then that whole stuff was weird. I was just like, we understand who you are and what you did, crazy lady. We don't need to know again. So thank you for reminding us what you did.
Yeah.
Like, for more emotional distress after Dumbledore dies, and you're reminding us of Sirius Black. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say at this point, again, like, I really like Harry Potter, but the Fantastic Beasts stuff just never really.
I like the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I'm a little mixed on the second one, but the third one, nope.
Okay, see, I didn't see the third one at all yet. I actually enjoyed the second one. I thought Johnny Depp did an amazing job.
That's the thing.
But I'll tell you, the worst part for me about the first two, because I've only seen the first two. For me, Eddie Redmayne was like, why the fuck is he here?
I feel like the thing is that like what would make those movies better is if they actually like emphasized on the Fantastic Beasts part, and then have this Grindelwald Dumbledore thing on the side, as like this thing where like, or like have Eddie Redmayne's character, Newt, how he knows Fantastic Beasts, like have him use Fantastic Beasts against Grindelwald, or something, but honestly,
the whole thing just comes across as they're just
trying to do this Dumbledore story under the eyes of another character without making, like, honestly, you could have just done the first movie like as a solo Fantastic Beasts movie and then spin it off into a Dumbledore story, or something. Like, you didn't have to dedicate a whole 5 movies that you wanted to do to this concept.
If they would have done it correctly, I think it could have had a good. If it would have been developed, I think by a producing team that like understood how to do a movie like that, how to tell that kind of story, it would work out. But they were just like, look, we need more Harry Potter. JK, what can you give us? Here's a dump truck full of money.
Right.
And she, it probably is. She probably was just like, well, I've always wanted to write a movie. That's probably what it boiled down to. It's like, I have this 5-arc idea, this 5-story arc that's going to kick off the story between, Dumbledore and Grindelwald and
then
with the whole
to Tom Riddle.
Yeah. And then, just like, and all the gay subtext, right? It's just like, and that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. No problem with that. I think the Jude Law and Johnny Depp in Crimes of Grindelwald, they had some chemistry there. They did. They had good chemistry. And you're like, all right, man.
No doubt that Depp and Law had chemistry. Like, if anyone says they didn't, they most definitely did. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think with Jude Law and Johnny Depp, that whole thing was definitely wasted.
Yeah.
And it sucks because then you have Mads Mikkelsen, who's also a great actor, who's just wasted as a recast in the third one.
Yeah.
Like, you don't let Mads Mikkelsen be Mads Mikkelsen and have him try to copy what Johnny Depp did.
Well, didn't he say he didn't try to do that? Like, he actually was.
He said he didn't try, but when you watch the movie, it seems like they are, like, the director's trying to direct him in towards that direction of him to be Depp, and then him himself as an actor is trying to not do what Depp did. So it's like that weird mixed baggage of, this is why you don't recast, honestly, because you have the director who wants to do one thing and the actor who doesn't want to do what the previous. It's like this whole baggage of stuff.
Well, speaking of recasting, we actually moved that as a segue here. So Pirates of the Caribbean, and they were going to recast based upon the Johnny Depp thing as well.
Oh, well, I think with this one, either they were going to do two things. I feel like they're going to have Margot Robbie's character be Bloom and
Elizabeth,
Swan, right?
Swan and Turner's kid.
And Turner's kid. I think they're going to have that.
Like what? Like trans the child?
I think honestly,
I don't. Like they had a son.
I know Charles played him in but I think they're going to just
like have him have another kid, like down the road. Yeah. Like and when he comes back at the end, just like they fucked one more time. Magically, she's pregnant again. Like, I mean, just imagine they had sex on a beach in the third movie, and it's like, oh my God, saltwater and sand, and like she still got pregnant. Like that's some powerful shit. Yeah. But I mean, either way, look, Disney understands that the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise is massively popular for them. Yeah, and they want to reboot it, but Johnny Depp was a problem.
Yeah, and also I think I think it was also this thing where Jerry Bruckheimer was like, of course he's also bringing back the Maverick, Top Gun, and he's now he's trying to bring back Pirates, and was trying to do it with Margot Robbie and also does another one with Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan? Is it Gillan?
I don't even know how to pronounce his last name.
Well, I mean, like I said, there's been a lot of competing ideas for Pirates of the Caribbean here.
Yeah.
Although Moisture for $2, thank you, buddy, says I think Taika Waititi could play Jack Sparrow. Watch Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max, and he plays like a kind of a Blackbeard-esque character, from my understanding. Isn't it Blackbeard directly?
Yeah, Blackbeard.
Yeah. So like you could kind of see that, but it is one of those things.
And then they were also having a Disney Plus series, which based off of like the plot line, like the description and everything, it seemed like they were going to have Jack Sparrow's kid find find Jack Sparrow's crew and create her new crew and become the new Jack Sparrow. So it was like, okay, you can whatever was going on with this movie, like with Margot Robbie and Kathy Ann and Christina Hodson, like whatever was going on with that, and then Karen Gillan,
we haven't heard an update on really any of them until today. I mean, Jerry Bruckheimer had mentioned it a while back, but the question was all
3. He was like, "Oh, we had 2 movies and a series in development." And
but now, but then Johnny Depp won his case. And then everyone was asking about Johnny Depp. So today we find out through an interview with Margot Robbie in Vanity Fair that says here her female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead at Disney, saying, I guess they don't want to do it. And, there's been a lot of speculation by a lot of people today. Oh, did Johnny Depp winning, did it cause this thing to die? I mean, I think, look, if they were going to have Kathy Ann direct it, which I have no idea if they were, but Christina Hodson was going to write it.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Hodson got too busy, honestly.
Maybe. So this is what it says. Margot Robbie announced in a new Vanity Fair cover story that her female-fronted Pirates of the Caribbean movie is dead at Disney. Variety has reached out to the studio for comment. It was announced in June 2020 that Oscar nominee Robbie would be the star of a new Pirates of the Caribbean movie at Disney, written by her Birds of Prey screenwriter, Christina Hodson. We had an idea. We were developing it for a while, ages ago, to have more of a female-led, not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story, which we thought would have been really cool. But I guess they didn't want to do it. And, I mean, but then apparently Bruckheimer says in another interview that, that they're still developing some stuff, but it doesn't have Johnny Depp currently in the mix for that. And I think that's one of those scenarios to where when you have to, what is it? Like, these movies are hundreds of millions of dollars, to see these things through. And, I think right now, because again, Disney has had their $8 billion loss for Disney Plus, right? Did you hear about that the other day, Caden? We lost Caden for a second. But yeah, Disney Plus had a thing the other day where they ended up, coming out, said they have all of these these subscribers across Disney Plus and ESPN Plus and Hulu, and it's still like $8 billion that they've lost as a result of that. So it's one of those things where you can kind of ask yourself, like, exactly why they might have canceled it, or what they might look at it as being too much. Peter Rabbit's Defender for 100 THB. I do not know what currency that is, but thank you for the 5 bones. Says that kissing Liz Swan leg swing in Pirates of the Caribbean 3 is still effing hot. Till these days, though, that was the most sexual moment that ever happened in any Disney movie. I mean, listen, yeah, whatever gets you going there, buddy. Keira Knightley, I had a big thing for her after Pirates of the Caribbean, so yeah, I get it. That was pretty good. But then talking about the concept of why they might be trying to like figure out ways to like increase the profit for Disney Plus actually brings me to a quick little story about Andor. And this popped up today, kind of shocking, because we found out that the first 2 episodes of Andor will be on ABC, FX, Freeform, and Hulu next week. Now, they're showing the first 2 episodes of the show. I would argue the first 3 episodes would be the first arc. That would be the better course, because then people can dive right into where things have been for the remainder of the show, which has been a bit of a slow build to get to episode 6, but then God damn, after that. Here's the thing with this, though, is Andor is not, I don't think Andor is doing so badly that they want to try to put it on other networks. I think it's the exact opposite. I think the numbers are there, but they're just there with more of a mature audience. All right. So I think they're there with more of a mature audience of people, and those people are maybe not flocking to it. Or I should say the mature audiences that exist on FX and on Hulu with some of that content, especially ABC. It's at the 9 p.m. slot, which is usually when you have their TV 14 drama that's going to pop on. And Freeform is aimed at families, but again, it's going to be after 9 p.m. on Freeform. So to paraphrase Kevin Smith, time to put away the fucking puppets. And they're going to be trying to bring people over to Disney Plus who may not already have subscriptions, or try to get people who already have Disney Plus to watch it there and to check it out. Either way, this is a very fascinating shot in the arm when it comes to boosting the profile of the show, which right now is so fundamentally fucking fantastic. It doesn't have any right to be anywhere near as good as it is in this moment in time. And that, my friend, that's Andor. Flat out, that's Andor. So we're going to have to wait to see what's happening with that, but I'm going to be really excited to see what all goes on with that as we get closer to the end of things. But that's all the stories I got for tonight. I didn't have a lot going on, but we kind of got sidetracked on the Andy thing. Jacob here for $2. Thank you. Says, did I hear or say that Apple is trying to buy Disney? I've heard, look, there's been rumors that Apple could buy Disney. Apple has enough cash on hand to be able to afford to buy Disney. You know what I mean? And I think that's a factor that a lot of people don't realize, is that they're really, really, really rich. But buying Disney is not necessarily something that I think they want to do, because buying Disney comes with a lot of problems, a lot of headaches.
I think if they were to buy any studio, It would be Sony.
Yeah. I mean, they have a deal with A24 for streaming.
Yeah.
But again, I do feel like if they were going to do anything, it would be Sony. Disney has Apple has no reason to own a theme park. They have no reason to own a cruise line. They have no reason to own anything. They're a fucking tech company. They don't have a reason to own any of that. Disney has every reason to have all of it because they can intertwine everything. Apple doesn't need to buy it. What they need to do is get killer fucking IPs that are over on Apple TV Plus that get people talking and don't just win awards. Ted Lasso might be good and it might win awards, and I think Coda won Best Picture, but that's not going to move the needle. That's not going to move the fucking needle. They need to show like Mando. They need to show like Stranger Things. They need to show that is going to bring people over to go and check it out for like the $7 a month it costs. There we go. Plushy here says Apple could buy Warner's.
Oh my God. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. That's one of those things where it's like, is it what did John Campea say? Apple's buying Disney? I haven't heard. I literally try not to watch John Campea. With that. Fandom NSLs here says certain people not giving this phenomenal show a chance because it has a Latino lead can fuck off. Such a shame more people aren't watching. I think they're getting there. I do think that they're getting there, but I do also feel that Boba Fett and Obi-Wan didn't stick the landing as well as they would have hoped that they did. And that might have had a little bit of problems. But also you've got like She-Hulk happening at roughly the same time. Other shows happening, Lord of the Rings, House of the Dragon. I mean, there was a ton of shit to watch at that time. It becomes difficult to kind of demand the conversation, or I should say command the conversation, because there's other things people are watching and we can only really focus on 2 or 3 things at a time. Like we really don't focus on a lot. People would just go, oh, I'll wait to binge. Like, I think leading into the end of this month, when we start to see, because we're on episode 9 right now. So episode 10's this week, getting into the final 3 of the season. What we're going to get after that is going to be very much like, building up to the end of it. And, when we get to the penultimate episode, so next week, I think a lot of people are going to be talking and it's going to spike a lot of the viewership. But the thing is, though, is again, Nielsen and those kind of rating systems, Samba TV. I'm sorry. I know Nielsen's been something that a lot of these companies have used for years. I still find it to be a fundamentally flawed system because it doesn't take into account people watching from their computers or watching from their mobile devices. It takes into account people watching from their home television if it's connected to a Nielsen box. So I think in the digital age, unless these companies, they know the numbers.
Wait, what? That's how they track it?
What?
Nielsen ratings?
I thought they did it through people who are connected into the service.
Oh.
Connected. Because remember,
I thought that was Samba. I thought that was Samba.
Samba uses specific Samsung TVs. Let me see here. How are Nielsen ratings calculated? All right, so okay, so 2,500 people in a Nielsen household watch a show each week. They conclude that 10% of television viewers in all households watch the show, right? So it's what is a Nielsen? Because what they do is they put a Nielsen meter in your house, and I don't quite know what that necessarily does, I guess. And maybe they, they just take a sample size is really what it boils down to. And let's see here. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what exactly is in Nielsen. God, even on their own website, they're a Better Business Bureau accredited business with an A+ rating. The Better Business Bureau is like shit, right? It's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a rating you fucking pay for. Like, that's it. But yeah, the Nielsen is really not. It's been used to collect a sample of ideas, but again, it's kind of just ridiculous. It's just stupid. These companies know what's doing well. But at the same time, it's like, hold on. Let me see if I could bring this up here. There's there's a channel called Nielsen Ratings. It's an old, let me find it. Sorry, guys. All right. Where is that at? Damn StreamYard. Work, damn you, work. All right. So this is an old like Nielsen box. Right? Visitor, male, female.
So so I figured it out. I looked it up on Forbes. Forbes said in January that they used to take 25,000 households, which will take around 100,000 people. And then now it's at 41,000 households. But I don't know how, they don't say how many people are in those households.
Yeah, I'm just saying I've always viewed these rating systems to be inherently flawed, but they serve a purpose. And the thing is, like, you know how it is, Caden. Hollywood takes forever to get with the times, and to play catch up and all that stuff. But again, how many people are watching on their mobile devices? How many people are watching on their computers? How many people these days watch fewer and fewer movies at their TV?
Honestly, for me, is like if I'm home alone, I'll probably watch on the TV. But if I'm not, I'm watching on my computer.
Yeah, I mean, I switch around. Like, I'll watch a movie on my if I want to watch a movie after I finish streaming.
I stopped watching things like TVs and movies on my phone. I stopped doing that because honestly, it got a little stressing. I was like, I don't like it. So, computer or TV?
Sure. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I understand. It can be, it's like I used to watch movies at the drive-in on a little 4-inch, portable DVD player, right?
Right.
Like I'd get movies, I'd watch them out there, and then I eventually upgraded to a 7-inch portable DVD player. And then after a while, I upgraded to a fucking laptop, and then by the time I left the drive-in 2015 to move up north, I was watching stuff on like my iPad. I had an iPad 3, and I would just like plug. Oh no, I was using it. I would watch sometimes on my iPad, but I would usually watch on my laptop, and I would just bring in speakers and plug the speakers in and sit out there and watch movies on my laptop.
Do you remember those DVD tablets that you put in your car, like behind, like on the headrest?
I still see them when I drop my kids off for school in the morning. There's parents who have those, and I'm just like for one, like I'm a little bit like, we give our daughters tablet. They have tablets, but I'm like a little, I don't know if in the car is the right space for that. However,
like I understand, like if it's just like a DVD tablet, like you only put DVDs in to watch a movie, but like to have a full-on tablet, or like if it's like kiddie games like tic-tac-toe and stuff, fine, but like a full-on tablet that you can play all sorts of games for a kid, I don't know about that, honestly.
I mean, all this shit, look, you give a kid a Switch, it's the same fucking concept, basically.
Yeah.
You can give them an iPhone 13 that has, internet, 5G internet, YouTube, all the games on there, and like that's what they're gonna play, and like that's what it's. You could even eventually like hook up a freaking like 5G enabled. You can get like a T-Mobile, and I'm sure other providers have this as well. You can get like a 5G dongle for your car. I can get one through T-Mobile for my car for $12 a month, and it emits a 5G wireless signal that I can connect to via Wi-Fi. And then just have my phone and whatever be connected via that, and then go from there. And it's like, and then you can have other devices connect to it as well, and you can do that now. And it's like at that point, then you have access to the internet. And so if you have like a tablet that your kids are watching something on, like watching YouTube or whatever, they can fuck around with YouTube Kids. So all that that shit never changes. Command Unit here says listening to audiobooks at work is the best. I mean, I would do that too, but like I would walk around at work, and that's when I listen. So, but again, I think, Executive here says I usually watch movies on my laptop. I think a lot of people watch movies. They're not watching them as often on their home devices, and that has a lot to do with like getting the movies anywhere digitally or having Netflix digitally, or like on your phone.
Well, it's not just digitally; it's also sites like Netflix is a site, Hulu's a site, Disney Plus is a site, like HBO Max is a site. And you also have torrent sites as well. So it's like you can legit watch anything on your computer.
Yeah. I mean, like, and there's things like I can't watch on my computer the things I can't watch on my phone that I can watch on my computer, which kind of sucks. But that kind of stuff happens as it is. But anyway, that's kind of what I'm looking at for tonight here. It's going to be kind of a quicker episode, not going to be as long as last night there. But I did see there was a McLeod here asking, thank you, man. Did I read the medium.com article about how Soups destroyed Brad Lambert's career and almost drove him to suicide? I know about it, but
to correct this question, blog, because there's a difference between an article and a blog. An article is an actual person with journalistic integrity. A blog is just someone to write and publish something. What he did is a blog. So that's the difference. And also I read it. I read part of it, and I honestly couldn't read a lot of it because I read the full rap article, and I was like, okay, this dude is really shitty. It's like this whole thing. No, I'm not a Soup supporter. The thing is, it's trash versus garbage. Soups is trash. Brad is garbage. So it's and also the thing is, it's it could I can give two shits on what Brad thinks about what Soups and the other people did when he did more shittier things than him. Then he lied about himself. So how am I supposed to trust him on this article? Or this blog, what he wrote up, So if you already lied about some things about your professional life and personal life as well, then how am I supposed to trust you when you write up a blog a year later and to expose one of your ex-clients? How people are trusting it because people hate Soups. I also hate Soups, but also I'm not gonna use that hate to be like, oh, this Brad guy's telling the 100% the truth. Did we forget what Brad did? That's the thing. When this article came out, or this blog, Jesus Christ, when this blog came out, I was like, how can I trust this? How can I trust every single thing that happened in articles 100% factual? Other than the voice memos.
Well, I mean, he definitely provides some screenshots and stuff.
Those like I said, screenshots can be altered and photoshopped.
Well, they can't. No, they can. They can. I think it's
if the only things that I trust were the screen recordings, because those you can't really do. You can't really screen record a voice memo and alter that, so that whatever. But also the other thing is that someone pointed out is that there was certain language that he used in his blog that you can definitely tell he was trying to capitalize on this Soups hate that happened recently.
Oh, most likely.
And there was 75% of the article was about Soups, and then the other percent, he brought up two other people that he barely mentioned. Why even bring them up if you're not going to even mention them at all in the article? Leave them out of it if they haven't said anything to you or about you since then, or even talk to you privately. If you're not going to bring up them again, don't bring them up. If you're going to talk about Soups, then do a full-on Soups blog, or Soups and Taya. You don't bring up Straw Hat Goofy and some other chick and then say there's a fifth person and then this anonymous fifth person that we're happen to believe is out there. That even when the article came out, it was just those four. And then Berto, who is, you know, of course, the actual journalist who wrote up everything that was sent to them. And then he says, oh, I sent this whole drive file to Umberto because I knew this article was coming, that article was coming, or whatever. And I'm like, what? Like, you say you were blindsided by it, but then you go on and say that, oh, you knew it was coming, so you sent Umberto a drive file with evidence to say, oh, although yes, I did some crappy things, here's some other crappy things that these other people did too. Like,
well, I think it's because like in the situation, I kind of get where he's coming from, to be honest with you, because what happens is, you know, you get all this one-sided shit and you get angry at it because like you can't really combat it, you know.
Yeah,
especially if it's.
I mean, the thing is that like also he says I didn't want to, you know, like they say I wanted to do this for rich and fame and stuff. I'm like, legit, in every single live stream that Soups did, you were mentioned, you were on it, or every single TikTok that you did, you were in Soups, like you were in it, and to say that like you didn't want any fame or money, then why did you mention that you were Robert Downey Jr.'s like manager's friend, or you were Robert Downey Jr.'s manager or whatever? Like clearly you wanted to get into like the fame of being the famous manager of people.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I mean, just well, at that point, just fucking admit it.
Yeah.
Like really,
admit
like just
that,
admit it. Just admit you.
Like that you did want something out of this.
Just be like, I want. I mean, like, look, I do this I like talking movies, but I also, this is like part of my income. And, you know, it's fun to do. And there's an audience, like, you know, like not every day is Christmas, but like you get some good stuff going on. And that ends up being like a fun sort of thing. We got a $5 super chat here from Peter Rabbit's Fender. Thank you, buddy. He says, this is gonna be a tough Matt. So sorry for asking. If you can go back in time, will you still be friend with Blandy? I understand your situation, by the way. If I could go back in time knowing what I know now, absolutely not. But the thing is, you have to understand is when I was introduced to Andy, I was introduced to Andy through Louis Lecca, and Louis Lecca was like, yo, bro, he's like, I know Andy Signor, you know, you should talk to him. I'm like, okay. You know, I knew what happened to Andy, but like, this is, I think around the time he had, you know, he was still doing the movie stuff. He, like, when I first got acquainted with him, you know, he was going to a local theater in Tampa and trying to do like, you know, straight out of the movie. Like, you know, he would get people who would organize screenings, and then people would go and see that, you know, he would like do a film, an intro, film, whatever, while he's in the theater, and then like discuss the movie with people afterward. He was trying to like create, you could argue like, you know, antiquated television when it came to discussing pop culture, stuff that was a lot of work that really wasn't like garnering him the attention that he wanted, you know, but like he was trying, and that was like, okay. And then we talk a little bit here, talk a little bit there, you know, and he seemed like he was just trying to, you know, get over what happened, and I had been canceled. And so I understood what it's like for people to come at you. So there's like a, you know, there's like a mutual understanding there. And then over time, you have to realize like, oh shit, this dude's fucking cray.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't be I wouldn't be, if I knew what I knew, I wouldn't be friends with him. I'm just saying like, you know, I would also probably not be as tight with Louis Lecca as I was, because I didn't realize, you know, just how fundamentally shitty he was as a person, because he kind of he has a way of kind of weaseling his way into you know, weaseling his way into your life by constantly by constantly like backing you up. He talks you up and shit like that. Mikey Sutton did the same thing too. I saw someone mention earlier, if I'm still friends with Mikey. I'm not friends with Mikey. I'm not friends with him anymore. So there's that. But anyway, guys, we have now hit the 1 hour, 30-minute mark. It is a school night. I got to get to bed. Kids got class in the morning. That is just how the cookie crumbles. I do appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with Hollywood After Dark. Be sure to check out Caden. Are you doing any podcasts? Are you doing any spaces? Anything like that?
I have a Phase 4 review thingy that I'm gonna do November 28th after, after everything settles down.
Sure.
So possibly then.
All right. Well, good. Check that out. It's probably going to be a Twitter space, right?
Actually, I'm gonna do it on YouTube.
Oh man. Well, I get that.
Yeah.
But all right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have yourself a great night. I'll talk to you all later. Peace, the ever-loving fuck out.